Well, good morning, farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. And today we are back on our farm in the province of, we're in Holzhausen. I almost forgot we're in Holzhausen. So, yeah, today we will be working on the soil mod a little bit more. It is day 2. We've allowed time to progress a little bit. Actually, I did quite a bit of work to get to this point. Worked until about 9 o'clock the previous evening on just getting equipment sold off, getting new equipment in, and getting the farm set up the way I like it. So I'll go ahead and show you some of the stuff that we've added in. So all the equipment got sold off. Well, most of the equipment got sold off. We picked up the Fendt 1050. Which I absolutely love that tractor, and it will probably be around for quite a while in our video series. Over here we got the JCB. We went with the small one, just the 3230. Nothing too big. Then I have the Vaterstat seeder, the Rapid 600A. I kept the small cultivator and the small seeder for now, just because there's going to be times when I'm going to need those. So I kept those around. Anyways, we'll fire this guy up. We'll take a little ride around the farm and show you the rest of the things we picked up. Went ahead and picked up the Merlot, which is the little small telehandler. Excuse me, I hit the wrong button there. I've got it stored in here. So got the Merlot with the Roberts bell forks on it. We are going to be doing baling on this map because there is no bulk storage for straw or anything else like that. So we will be doing some baling. So in the spirit of that, I did go ahead and pick up the square baler. I've got the Berkman, the medium size forage wagon. I like it. I like using that one. And then I've got the horse chisel plow for cultivating. Picked up 2 Marshall trailers. And then for our harvester combine, we're going to use the Lexon 550. And I've got the corn head there. I've got the thrasher head over hidden away in a building somewhere. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's back out of here a little bit. Let's see. Well, we really don't need this guy for much right now. We can actually park him. I did go ahead and start working towards getting cattle on the field, on the farm, because we are going to need lots of cattle. Since we are going to need the manure and the slurry for the fields. So I went ahead and worked on getting some silage done yesterday. So I mowed some grass, made some silage. Let's go ahead and get this guy opened up. For my sprayer, I went and picked up the big sprayer, and I'm going to use the Unimog, since it is the new flavor of the week. And we got a little spraying that we need to do today. It's day 2 and we got a little weed infestation starting, so we are going to head out to the field and get us some weeds sprayed. And so I need to change over to a weed preventative. And in reading, corn and canola both are good with A and C weed preventative, but they do not like B. So we're good with A and C and not B, and I gotta fix that real quick. Hang on. There we go. So A and C are good as far as weed prevention. Oops. Switch over to the front here. Make sure it's full. Change the front over to AA as well. Alright, we are good to go. So we'll go over here, I'll show you the rest of the equipment that we've got, and we'll head on out and do some spraying. As you can see there, I picked up the Krone Big M, what is it, Big X 500, M500, or Big M500. I think that's the name of it, for mowing. So that's what I'm going to use for mowing this go round. And what else? I've got my header in there for the class, and then around back I've got a plow. And that's basically all the equipment I've picked up so far. There you go. Got the blue plow. I didn't go too crazy. Used about $1.5 million to gear up. Now, there's still more equipment I need, but for right now, I think that'll suffice and get us started. As you can see, I've got about 300,000 still left. I'll probably go ahead and whittle that number completely away here shortly. Set it back down to about 10,000, and that way we won't be starting with that much money. Alright, so as you can see, our field is, let's go over the soil mod a little bit. After reading a little bit more about it overnight, pH needs to be 6.8 for optimal performance, which is neutral. As you can see, we got some weeds coming in here. We're 20% right here. So pretty heavy infestation right there. Our soil moisture for 100% productivity needs to be around 57%. We're down around 40 in this area, 42. Our nutrient as far as N needs to be around 5x. And you want to shoot for your pK to be about 4x. So that's our goal. As you can see, we have no herbicide, no weed prevention on here. We're about to change that. We're going to be putting on the AA, which is a double dose. So we'll be getting a little weed killer as well as a little prevention for the going down the road. So yeah, that's what we're going to work on today. Of course, our moisture level will be affected by the fact that we are going to spray. So that'll help out. But if we have to, we can always come back and water down the road. So I am going to turn GPS on. We're going to use that for all our operations today. Come on, show me my lines down far, so I can see what I got going on here. Doesn't want to behave. Alright, so as you can see, we need to angle a little bit and then shift over a little bit. That should get her done right there. That looks pretty good. Alright, so we'll back up. Right, so let's get to spraying. So that's about it. And again, this is all trial and error. This is all new to me. It's just something that I've wanted to do. So we'll be testing it out. And you guys will learn with me and see what this is. Maybe it'll tickle your fancy and it'll be something that you want to add into your gameplay. You may not. You may just decide that's too much to deal with. It looks like the growth cycle is about 4 days of in-game play. So you do have to maybe do a little more fast tracking that you normally would. I'm going to try to find things to do along the way. As far as there's plenty to do right now, setting up the farm for the first time. As far as going out mowing grass, getting silage set up, getting all of that type of stuff taken care of. So it's not like there's a shortage of things to do on the farm. But it takes time to get set up initially. And if you do it right, you can get a crop rotation going to where as you progress, you're harvesting a couple of fields every day, and then so things don't really matter nearly as much as time goes on. It's not near as much of an issue if you're waiting 4 days for a field to grow, because, well, you'll have another field pop up every day that you can go harvest, and then you can sow it and cultivate it and all that other stuff. I think that's another reason why plowing and all that will be kind of cool on this. It's because there'll be so much involved in prepping your field properly to get it right, that it won't really matter that you have 4 days before a field becomes ready to harvest. So anyways, who knows, right? You never know until you try it out. So we'll use these first few fields as a test to see what's going on, and see how we like this. For today, I'm just going to put the weed preventative on. I've been doing some reading. I'm not 100% sure on all of this, but I did do some reading, and I found I found some information that basically said if you spray a fertilizer type on, and then you spray another fertilizer type on over that, the second application of fertilizer will override the first. Now, I'm not sure if that has to do with your NPK or if that has to do with weed prevention as well. So I'm a little leery of putting like a weed preventative on as well as putting on an NPK to try and up my nutrients at the same time. So it might be a situation where we hold off on doing nutrient for a little bit and let the weed preventative take time to do its thing. So it'll be a learning process, like I said. Might have to get with Ian Robson and pick his brain a little bit on it, since he does do this quite a bit. But anyways, what else is going on? I've got a new mod installed I'm messing with. It is called Better Steering Mod. And what it does, it allows you to have... it's supposed to enhance the steering, of course, if you're on keyboard. But it also gives you a little bit more camera. What am I looking for? Camera control. For when you're driving. It'll do things like adaptive steering, as well as it will mainly the reason I got it is when you're in cab and you're doing some steering, it will actually move the camera slightly for you when you're steering, so it'll turn the camera in the direction of which way the steering wheel is going. For example, if I turn to the left, it kind of turns my camera to the left a little bit. If I turn my camera to the right, it turns my camera to the right a little bit. If I back up, it flips the camera automatically to the back for me, and then when I move forward, it moves it right back to the forward. I kind of dig that in cab. I don't like it as much out of cab, but it does have some pretty good controls for you. You use shift the letter C, the letter E, and the letter R to configure it. And so basically, Shift C will enable or disable the camera lock to the steering wheel. Shift R will enable or disable reverse cam, and Shift E will enable disable the adaptive steering. I really don't notice much with the adaptive steering, so I haven't really messed with it. I'm using the C, the camera, and the reverse function are the only two options I'm using. When I'm in third person mode, like right now, I have everything disabled. When I'm in cab driving, I have the I'm using the C and the I'm using the let's see, I'm using the camera and the reverse, and I've got the adaptive steering on. I haven't turned it off because I really don't know what that does. We were talking about it the other day, and somebody pointed out that adaptive steering was the camera. It's not. The camera is the camera part. The adaptive steering must have something to do for people who are on keyboard. But I'm checking it out. It seems to help out a little bit to give you a little more depth perception when you're in first person. That's the one thing I have problems with, is in first person you just seem to have that one stuck view, and you seem to not have as much perception as where you're going. And so hopefully that'll help out a little bit with that. Alright, let's dial this over just a little bit, and then we will make our first full pass on this field. I think that's going to be... It might waver a little bit down towards the end, but that'll be good enough. I may have to refill a little bit here in just a moment. So we'll get our insecticide down, or excuse me, our herbicide down, and this should give us some good weed preventative for a day or two, and knock down the weeds that we have in here. I probably should have put a preventative down before we sow, or before we started. But again, I'm a learning. This is where a tractor with some row crop tires would be nice. A little lifted John Deere with some row crop tires. That way you're not crushing your fruit. You ever see those going through down the street? They're crazy. They look like they just tip over at any time. Got those big row crop tires on them. The cab's about 10 feet up in the air. And then when they put the booms out, you just think, man, that thing will just tip over at any point. So we'll knock this out and get that done. We need to get a little bit of wheat in a field somewhere. And I might just look around and see what fields are available. I might buy a field that has some wheat in it, because we do need straw. I'd like to get my dairy cows up and running as fast as possible. That way we can go ahead and start getting manure and slurry going. So we need to look into that as well. And then we do have that one vacant field right there. I need to go ahead and put a crop in it as well. So lots to do, lots to do. So the question will be, can we get this whole field sprayed without having to do a refill? Because we are starting to run low on juice. We might be able to pull it off. Would be nice. Yeah, so you can see I've got a bunker right there in front of me with some silage fermenting. It not a whole lot. There's about 16% full, which isn't much. Just basically I mowed one field yesterday and harvested all of that. Got it in there. Looks like we're gonna pull this off. So one full load is gonna get this whole field done. Nicely done, nicely done. Alright, so let's fold this guy up. We'll take him back to the storage facility and park him for a little bit. So our moisture is 43%. Hopefully with that little bit of spraying, that'll bring our moisture content up a little bit. But if not, we'll water a little bit. We'll look at that later on in the afternoon. Over here and fill everything up. Now the way this is, man, I had to pull in front forward first to fill up the front tank, and come on, refill. Why does it not want to refill? Alright, what's going on here? Well, the back refill. First need to fill the implement. I'm trying to fill the implement. Hello. This seems to be a little glitch. There we go. Something's working now. Interesting. Alright, let's see if we can get the front filled. No, we can't. Interesting little glitch here. Wonder why that's not working. I seem to be at it because I can change the... Huh. I don't know, I think something I read about defaulting to MPK. Not sure, maybe you have to go back to MPK to fill, and then you can rechange your fill type. For now, we'll just leave it at... For now, I'm going to make sure it's set for NPK. I'm going to park. If I need to water, I can always come back and switch it to water. If we do fertilize again, probably we're only going to fertilize P and K. Not really sure. Alright, so that gets that done for today. And we'll give it another few hours of growth to get going and see what happens with that. We can always go do some mowing. I believe my field should be about ready to mow. And let's look at what's in the fields to see what we might want to do here. All of these fields are obviously sown. Field types. So we're here with 16 and 17. Those are canola and corn. There's a wheat field right here we could get. Wouldn't cost much money. We could get this one if we wanted a little bit bigger one. And this one here is wheat as well. So any one of these fields would be good to pick up. We might look at the price on those. And this is where I want to mow grass. So probably go up here and mow a little grass, because we do need to continue to get some grass going. So let's jump in this guy. If you've never used this one, this is a really cool little toy. It's the Krone Big M500. And I like it. It's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and set everything up here for it. Okay, my beacon's turned on. And we'll head up to where we mow grass at. I kind of want to buy a field and plant grass in it and have a nice field of grass growing. But I haven't done that yet. Might be something I do. Just depends. If this field here continues to put out grass the way it is, I should be okay. I'm not going to be having to mow all the time constantly. Being on normal mode, I'm not going to have to worry about funds as much. Being able to utilize this guy for just one field to be fine. So here's the viewing cab. It's kind of restrictive because of the mower on the front. If you played FS13, you'll recognize this guy. It was part of the game, I guess, in FS13, or it was a mod that everybody used in FS13. But I like it. It's a fun little unit to have. The nice thing about it is it has the function to either put your grass clippings spread out, or you can close down the chutes on it and have it redirected to put out a center swath. And I'll demonstrate that for you in just a minute. So I'm using this field here to mow. It's a nice little field. It gives me plenty of grass. So we'll go ahead and unfurl this thing. Put all the wings out on it. set it up to mow. And if you look back here on the back, if I change the settings on it, there are a couple of chutes on the back. See how those flip up and down? If you flip them up like so, when you start to mow, the grass clippings will just come out right out the back of it. If you close those down, it will direct the grass to the center, and so all the grass clippings will be in the center, which eliminates the need to have to do any kind of windrowing. So I kind of dig that. For right now, for just doing grass for silage, it works. I haven't tried to teeter any of it, so I haven't messed with that part of it. But for now, I'm gonna leave those. I'm gonna leave those down and mow to give myself a nice little windrow. And so we just work through the field and go ahead and mow up some grass. I like the sound effects on it. It has a good sound package to it. Oop, clip the tree. As you can see, I got a little bit of weeds growing in here. I don't know what weed preventative you use on grass. I looked earlier to see if it said what weed preventative you could spray on grass, and it didn't really see that listed anywhere. I don't know if that's an oversight or if that's one of those things, but I'm gonna read on that and see if I can figure out what to spray on grass to kill the weeds. Because they are there. Yeah, so this guy makes mowing grass pretty nice. It's a very nice little device. It's a luxury item, I know. I splurged on it, but thought I'd add it in because it's something I haven't done in the videos, and thought I would add that one in. You can find this on, I think the guys from OBE did this one, so it'll be on FSUK if you wanted it. Just search for Big M500. I know Timber also has a version of it. I haven't downloaded the version that he's modified. Now, he doesn't have a version that he did himself. He has one that he's modified. I haven't really looked at it, simply because it is a modification. And this one works just fine. Might have to check it out, though, to see what he's done different to it, because he does do some good work. So moving along, we'll do a couple more videos. We'll get back to North Brabant. Probably do a video on that. North Brabant. Continue up the harvest there, and then need to get back to Colborough. I'm not really sure that there's going to be any multiplayer on Colborough. I think everybody's just kind of burned out on that. Recon has found a forestry map that he's wanted to do, and is back into forestry mode. So I don't know that there's going to be any multiplayer on Colborough done. So I'm going to mess with the dedicated a little bit, but the dedicated comes with a lot of frustrations as far as just the glitches and the pops and things like that that are associated with the dedicated server. And it gets a little overwhelming at times. I went on to do some bale stacking the other day, and because of the glitches in the dedicated, I knocked a bunch of bales down, and that of course gets really frustrating because it's things that are beyond your control, and that tends to irritate me quite a bit, because it's nothing I'm doing wrong that's causing me to have to go back and do more and more work, and it's starting to tend to make me want to not play on the dedicated. So it might be a situation where I just start a fresh game save on Colborough and play that some in single player. I'll give it a little bit longer, see if multiplayer picks up on it, but if it doesn't, then I'll probably end up just making a fresh game save and starting over with Colborough, because I do like the map and I want to play it, but I'm only going to deal with the dedicated issues if I'm doing multiplayer stuff for the guys. It's just we'll see what happens, but don't be surprised if I kind of steer away from it a little bit for a while, or if I don't do a ton of work on there, because I don't want to do a ton of stuff and then just start all over again. Can't exactly remember how I mowed this last time, but it seemed like it went a little bit better than this route did. This pathing is not quite right. But yeah, we'll do a little bit on this map, a little bit on North Brabant, a little bit on Colborough. We'll just kind of mix it up. A couple of days here, a couple of days there. Hit any kind of mods that come out, and we'll just keep going from there. I'll probably do a little bit this week on the DTG fishing. I did get phase 5 is out, and I did play it a little bit yesterday. They've totally reworked that game. It fishes completely different now, so it's a different game altogether. So I'll get it out and bust it out and show you what they've done, what changes they've made to it. It's really nice. I can see a lot of potential in that game, and a couple other things I'm going to play with this week. So that's what we got moving forward. Alright, well, I'm going to take this guy and park it, and while I do, I'm going to bid you guys a farewell. I will come back and pick all this guy up with the forage wagon, and we'll see what happens. We'll revisit this and see where we're at with our weeds and with our growth state on our fields, and we'll just continue on with this map and get it going. Let me know what you guys think of the map and about the soil mod, and if this is something that you guys want to watch and see how this series develops. Alright? Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you enjoy the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, a big like. Helps me out. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do a new video every single day, and a new one will be out tomorrow. Until then, y'all stay safe, have a great day, and I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.